Well, good morning. Thank you guys for joining us today. We got the pigs a little surprised, went to the store and we got them a kiddie pool. So we're gonna put this kiddie pool in, fill it up with water and let them have some fun. Plus had to refill some hay bales for them in their pig shelter, which is built out of pallets. It's working that we blocked it off when we first got them. They were pooping in it, and I've got a video. I'll post that up above. You can check that out. So it worked, kind of broke them from going in there, but now we got to fill them up with a little bit more hay, and I bought some extra for in the future. So, all right, let's get started. I don't know about you, but it has been extremely hot over the last couple of weeks. So our pigs are about 7-8 weeks old and they're in the shade down here, but just want to give them something to help them cool off. Pigs like to wallow, they like the mud, but it's not a very muddy spot because we had a bunch of mulch put down. So this is an opportunity to give them some relief and let them have a little bit of fun too. Good morning, biscuit and gravy. We got you some swimming pool. Hey, what is this? Look what we got here. I know. That thing's big, ain't it? It's okay. Just gonna get you a little spot right here. Dig it out a little bit. Oh my goodness, you're okay. You're okay. Come here. Come here. Can I rub you? Give you rubs? Scooch. You're okay. It's okay. There you go. And we'll just leave this out here for y'all to be curious with. Put that hay bale out there for them. And they're going to town. That'll give you something to do, won't it? Will it give you something to do? Like a dog. They are funny. So we're slowly getting this pool filled in. While we're getting this filled in, you know, we do this on the side. This is not full time. I'm a teacher and a football coach. My wife, she works for Amwins Insurance and she works from home. And in COVID, we just, during that time period when all the food scarcity was out there, we really started evaluating our priorities. You know, it's one of those things where we didn't have a garden in place. We just bought this house with a beautiful view in the foothills of North Carolina. We didn't buy the house with pigs and garden and animals in mind. As COVID was going through, we just decided that buying local beef from Highlands Family Farm and it's actually one of my students and my players on the team. And they have a farm that it's all grass fed, it's natural. And that kind of kick started, okay, what are we putting into our bodies? How can we contribute that? And then we bought chickens and we got some egg layers. The chickens are definitely a gateway drug for farm animals, and it worked for us. So we've got about, I'd say 10 or so of those, got a couple of roosters, and then over the years, a couple have passed on, but we still get eggs. And I don't really eat eggs a whole lot, but my wife does. And then that got us looking into homesteading. That got us looking into farming and doing our own thing. The next step in that was like, okay, let's start with chicken tractors. Let's build chicken tractors. Let's get broiler chickens and really take the next step into being a little bit more self-reliant. We built a garden too, which started off with just one little raised bed full of tomatoes that didn't go very well because a groundhog came up and ate them. So we've grown and evolved, and this has not been something that has happened overnight. This has been over the process of the last 3 years, to where we built raised beds for our gardens, then we got more chickens, and it's just kind of slowly expanded to where we felt more confident in what we were doing. So then the chickens led to the broilers. We processed 38 of them a couple weeks ago. First time ever doing that with very minimal help. All we did was just watch YouTube videos, Sow the Land, Justin Rhodes, Luna Acres. I mean, you name it, we watched a ton of them and just had to do it. So we processed those 38. We bought 10 more egg layers, and then we added these two ladies, which they're jumping in the pool right now, which is so funny. Our garden has expanded, so where our chicken run used to be, it was pretty barren, and they kind of cleared the land for us. And so we moved the chickens into what we call the chicken tank, which is a modified chicken coop with a truck camper shell. And you guys can check that video out, but I'm gonna let you watch them jump in the water for a minute. Okay, so they're having fun. Our pig's getting the zoomies, which is hilarious. If you've never seen a pig get the zoomies, pig zoomies. We just started small, and it was one of those things where if you start getting into this, we just wanted to be more like self-sufficient. I don't think we'll ever be to the point where we can be off-grid or totally self-reliant, but we're trying to. So we've got 38 chicken in the freezer. We've got these two pigs that will be processed in December, and we've got egg layers. We've got a moderate-sized garden, which we are just terrible gardeners, but it takes time with that. So we're transitioning our property so that we can do more things with animals, with garden space. We've been taking out a ton of trees. You can see one behind me. We cleared this entire area out, and we still got leftover scraps from cutting down trees and things like that. But it's just one of those things that there's always going to be something to do. There's always going to be a project. And with me starting up the school year, we've been having football practice all summer. It's going to transition to where now the weight of all the projects is on my wife and my kids. My daughter's in high school, my son's in middle school, he's playing football too. And it really just goes to show that you gotta have partners in this. You gotta have helpers. You cannot do it on your own. And so it's tough. It's tough as a husband and father when the season begins. I know the burden of all the work's gonna be on my wife. My daughter helps a lot, my son helps a lot. And then when school starts, she works from home, and that helps. But again, it puts a lot of weight on her shoulders. But we love what we're doing. It's tough, football and farming, and it takes your time away with football so much, especially you got varsity and JV, and then our son plays in the middle school. So trying to find that balance between work and family. And I think we do a pretty good job at it. But I really appreciate, my wife. She jumps in and does the chores in the morning, because at 6:45 I'm out the door and I need to be at the school getting ready for practice. So it's tough this time of year where we're transitioning from farming to football, and the animals are still here. They still need to work. We still got chores to do. So I try to help on my days off in the evenings. You guys can understand, if you're working a full-time job and trying to do a homestead or a small farm, it takes a lot of work, and it's worth it in the end. And I struggle this time of year because I love football, but I love my family more, and I'm really starting to fall in love with this farm life. So it's the faith, family, football, and farming. So it's hard to balance all of those all together, because I want to spend more time with my family. The summer's running out. The farm, the garden, everything needs your attention. And your family, most of all, needs your attention as a husband and father. But there's also kids that don't have dads that are on the football team. So being an extension of them, so it's awesome that my wife knows that it's a ministry more than anything. And we always start with the faith and family. Everything after that, God's going to take care of. So thank you guys for joining us on the video today. Even though the videos may slow down with our content, we're always going to be working, and we'll try to keep you guys up to date with things that are going on the farm. So thanks for joining us today. We'll see you on the next video. That's right. You tell them.